welcome to my channel, SteveO the Window Cleaner. Today, I am going to talk to you about the difference between hard, medium, and soft rubber. No, I do not know all of the specifics behind what each rubber is made out of and why it is what it is, but we're just simply going to talk about when to use these different types of rubber, because this topic always comes up this time of year when winter ends and spring begins, or when summer ends and fall begins and the cooler temps go. People start saying, oh, my squeegee rubber is bleeding more, oh, my squeegee rubber is bleeding on the glass. Well, the difference in between different squeegee rubbers can have a lot of difference in how you squeegee a window, and many people like different rubbers. That's the truth of it. Some people like hard rubber, some people like medium rubber, some people like soft rubber. So let's just get into it. We're just going to talk about the different squeegee rubbers, kind of how they'll work on the glass. It's not really, if I show you on the glass, you're not going to see a lot of what you'll actually see in person, not on camera. Camera doesn't show everything, you know. Camera doesn't show streaks. Camera doesn't show bleeding, really. It doesn't show skip marks. A lot of the things, of techniques that are shown on YouTube, a lot of them will leave certain things behind, and a lot of the times it's super hard to see that on the camera, so you usually don't see that. So what we're just going to talk about is the different rubbers and just kind of how they'll react on the glass. Let's go. So I most of the time will use Unger Green rubber. I've been talking a lot about this over the last year since it came out. It's more of a, I would say, a medium to hard rubber, but it does really well in all weather. That's why I can't really tell you much about what these are made out of. I can just tell you my experience. Other one is Ettore. Ettore is really good in summer and spring. You will get bleeding in the winter time, but it is a good all-around rubber. A really good rubber for winter time that's soft is the Unger Soft. That's a really, really nice rubber. It will do well in cloudy weather, cool weather. Once you start getting on glass with a little bit of heat, it will range as far as how it does. What it really comes down to with the soft and hard rubber is that soft is better for winter, hard is better for summer. That's as simple as that. If you use a hard rubber in the winter, you're going to get a lot of bleeding. If you use a soft rubber in the summer, the rubber is going to be really, really sticky on the glass. One of the hardest rubbers out there, I would have to say, is Unger Hard Rubber. Unger Hard Rubber, when I've tried to use it, is just so hard that when you put it on the glass, I mean, you really feel it there. It doesn't have much flex at all, but it bleeds a lot even in the summer, and I find it just not very smooth. So that's one of the things, is that, like facelift red rubber, I hate it. Some people absolutely love it. That's more of a hard rubber that lasts for a long, long time. I can't even stand it. I just don't like it. I used it and it was not good. And then, you know, a soft rubber like the Mormon NXTR. This is a super soft rubber. And the thing is, on camera, you can't quite see or, you know what I'm feeling here. But that NXTR rubber, when I first tested it, and I was really into it when I first tested it, and I was really excited when it first came out, because I was like, oh man, this is going to change the market as far as rubbers go. And it was a little bit frustrating because it didn't seem like it was the same, but I don't know, like that's not my decision as far as what the final product is. But It's really, really good in the winter time, and then I just don't use it at all in other times of the year. And it is very squeaky on the glass when you don't have enough soap. That's one thing that's really weird about it, but it won't happen when it's extremely cold. So I have a video that I did earlier this year when it was super cold. It was like 19 degrees out or something, and I'm using it, and it's super smooth. It doesn't bleed at all or anything, or leave any trails from the actual rubber, unless there's like a shred or something like that. Just go ahead. So yeah, so like the blue rubber, it looks cool, but it's only good for some weather. So that's kind of that was a major struggle. Even the Unger green rubber, I love that rubber, but I just recently got a batch where it's a little bit stickier than what I like, and I've used it in 2 different channels. And that's the weird thing about squeegee rubber, man, is it's just like, as great as you want it to be, sometimes you'll get a batch that's bad, and it's like, where does this come from? So right now, I do consider Unger green rubber to kind of be the holy grail as far as squeegee rubber, as far as what I've seen, because it actually works really well in most temperatures. The only thing I wouldn't do it in is under 32 degrees. But I would say this, to an under 32 degrees weather, I think anyone's just happy to have you be cleaning the windows and making them look better. So a little bit of bleeding here and there, or a couple streaks here and there, it's really going to be okay. I really don't think anyone's going to get mad at you for it. But it's always the biggest question this time of year is, you know, what squeegee rubber should I use? And oh, I'm starting to see bleeding from my rubber. And I'll tell you, my first season when I got into the winter, I was freaking out. I was like, why are my squeegees leaving behind so much bleeding? And that's all it was. I was just using the wrong squeegee rubber for the time of year. So yeah, let's go get this job done. This out. This is the new World Enterprises aluminum tip, and basically, try to take this off. It's a tip like this. It's all aluminum, so this is replacing the Xero trad tips, and then you can just use whatever tip you want. And all poles come with these holes on them, usually to use for a certain pole tip. And then all you do is press in here on the sides, and then it snaps in, and you're good to go. And now you won't have any carbon fiber pieces snapping or any rivets. It's a tad bit, a little bit of movement, but I've already tried it this morning, and once you start working with it, it's fine as far as holding everything really, really good. So one of the reasons why I showed you the same shot you probably see in a million videos, and you see the Marlin accelerator on the pole, is that as it gets colder, it's important to use soft rubber on that. That will bleed a lot as well, because the rubber, you know, is getting this and it's getting super wet. So it's good to have some sort of soft rubber there in the winter. You'll usually have your most issues with tools like this when it's cooler. One thing I find too with a lot of these is when you're closing out, it will bleed in the middle, especially when it's cooler. So a good thing to do with that is use a little bit less soap
and then really try to work your squeegee. Sometimes it's inevitable that it's going to happen, but I do see that happen quite a bit. But really guys, that's it as far as hard and soft rubber. There's really not much to it. It's just use soft in the winter, use hard in the warmer temperatures. That's pretty much it. You can really use medium really in any temperatures. Ettore is really good for anything, so I would say that if you just don't want to deal with that, just do like Ettore rubber or something like that, or even this Unger Green rubber, but it's a little bit more expensive than the rest. But come along with my day. We got a few more jobs, stuff you've all seen before, but we'll just share some tips and all that good stuff.
And I do find that a rubber reacts better on a channel with a clip, like a brass Ettore or anything, rather than like a channel like this that you don't have any clips in. You can put clips in, but it can be a little bit weird and kind of angle the rubber weird. But like this is a funky Pulex one, but you could definitely use it. But I find the rubber always does better in a channel that has the rubber really tight on the edges. But then some hate that, and they would rather have it be loose like this. So that's where, you know, window cleaning is all about what works for you. I could teach you a million things, or I could, you know, give you a million tips. In the end, you might decide to be exactly opposite of me. And that's the really cool thing about window cleaning, is that there isn't a lot of right or wrong answers. It's all about the final product. That's all that it's about. If the final product is good, then you do it the way you do it. There's a lot of janitorial people who use microfibers and spray who actually do a really good job, and people like it. So you got to remember that with window cleaning. It's not all about the tools you use and how you do it. It's the product that comes from it. But that's what I find out. Let's stop talking. Let's get cleaning up. Fucking bees. Also, on my video where I cleaned the outside of that house, I messaged 2 people in the comments and they never got back to me about the winner of the Fugu sleeve and the other one, the maker one. So the first person to comment Fugu, F-U-G-U, below wins in America, only in America. Okay. So now we're gonna go do a place you guys have all seen a lot. Use water-fed pole. Nothing too crazy there, and yeah, keep on going. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little weird here. I'm gonna start talking about the next job, start showing you clips from the next job, but I want to tell you about the brush. I've talked a little bit about this brush, but at first I wasn't quite sure of it. I was getting like spotting, I didn't know why, and I think the first time I used it, the actual brush was just leaving some dirt or something on the frames extra that, I don't know. Anyways, I got this X-Line brush. This is from the UK. This is not anything we carry at WCR, but I would say, so let's see, I think 3 years ago I reached out to X-Line. They weren't shipping to the US at that time, as far as I know. And basically, they create these really sick brushes where the rinse bar is in the middle. So I've been working with this quite a bit, and like I love Tucker Bohr's hair, but this brush I really like for anything else, and I've actually used it on homes that I haven't cleaned for like 6 months to a year, and it does an outstanding job. The rinse bar in the middle seems to have like maybe probably the same size jets as the rinse bar, but it's shorter. It's like an 8-inch rinse bar, which I think is the perfect size for a rinse bar. I think the rinse bar could be reduced to that size and it would be a perfect thing. That's kind of what I've done with all of mine. But The X-Line has it in the middle. The rinse bar won't scratch the glass or anything. I pushed really hard just to try to see if I could do it on my home. Not to scratch it, but to see if I can make contact with the glass. And you can't. But it has really good bristles. The one I'm using here, this brush is the more aggressive brush that they sell. I would still use boar's hair on anything that's really, really dirty. But I love having something that has the rinse effect that it does. It glides on the glass super, super easy. I attach the Tucker swivel to it. It just comes with a normal Euro thread on the back of it to attach it. I have had the hoses pop off a little bit here and there, but they're really easy to get on. But I would say if you're looking for a different brush and you want to try something really, really different, I would definitely try to get one of these from over in the UK from X-Line. I don't know if these will ever be brought here. I don't know, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because I think it's a really, really sick brush. So that's it. So that's pretty much it as far as today's video. Pretty simple as far as the differences between hard and soft rubber. There's really not much you can talk about it. It's just get the kind for the weather that you're in, and it will be pretty smooth. Brush, it's an awesome brush. I do find sometimes the pressure can be so high from those on that windows like I just showed you. Sometimes when they have that little lip with the vinyl frame, sometimes when you get that circle above the jet, sometimes that gets up in there and you'll get a couple nasty drips from it. I get a couple from that job like every time I do it, honestly. And then I just go back, use some steel wool and touch them up. But honestly, it does a really good job. It's a very good maintenance brush. I think it can be a great brush for maintaining buildings, especially like every few months. And the rinse, I've always had a really outstanding pressure with that little rinse bar that's in there. So it's a very nice design. Like I mentioned, I messaged 2 people on the comments about the last giveaway of a Mormon Fugo sleeve and then a Maker, what was it, a Scotsman that I was going to do? Maker Scotsman complete. And nobody responded through an email. So that one's done. So on this one, just the first person to comment Fugu, that's it. Then I will give you that giveaway. But when I comment, I give you my email so that you can send me your information, and then I can send you it. But just remember, it's US only. I got a few more jobs to do today, and then I got to go do some work and kind of far from where I was working today, because tomorrow I don't want to go all the way back down to an area just for a few jobs. So go finish up today, and that'll be it. But it's a beautiful fall here. I hope y'all are busy. Always remember, I'm doing for the month of October a 20-foot trad pole giveaway for any orders that are put through me for WCR. So that's fun. I know y'all sometimes get mad about me talking about sales, but is what it is. So anyways, we will talk soon and check you later. Peace.